Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the P-47D-28 sitting at 4.7 battle rating. It was time to look at this plane again, and the reason is because it got a flight model buff not too long ago, and apparently it got equal to the P-47N, and I was really looking forward to fly this thing again. It's been a long time, so here we go. Let's take a look at her. The maximum speed in this plane at sea level without WEP is 550 kilometers an hour, and with WEP 579. At 4500 meters this is 504 kilometers an hour without WEP and 528 with WEP. And then finally at 6500 meters you can take her to 478 kilometers an hour without WEP and 503 with WEP. This is a fast plane in a straight line, no doubt about it. She can accelerate to speed that compared to almost no other planes, although of course there is always competition and other fast planes, but against most of the competition you will be faster. The top speed in a dive it is even more impressive with 840 kilometers an hour before it redlines and 915 before it rips apart. Now if you move the plane too much before 915 you can rip it at a little sooner than that, let's say. I did rip it once at 890 in another test dive, but 915 seems to be the general point where it rips if you don't make too many shenanigans in your dive. Is that the effective dive speed? The control stiffening starts very slightly at 550 kilometers an hour. Almost not noticeable, but it does start there. And then it becomes a little bit more severe at 750, where it becomes a little bit more difficult to get your guns on target. At 800 you really gotta stop rolling and pull out, because you're gonna go over the red line and you don't want to pull too many shenanigans there, because you know you don't want to rip anything. It's difficult to rip something, but it is definitely possible. Stall speed in the plane is also quite nice with 160 kilometers an hour where she stalls. The firepower in the plane is excellent. You run with 8 50 cals or 12.7mm M2 Browning machine guns with 425 rounds per gun, which is amazing. The ammo load is also excellent on this plane. You can also equip this plane with bombs and rockets or a combination of the two, which is a big lure for a great many people, because you see a lot of P-47s with their ass to the grass, let's say. And for me that is a shame of a perfectly fine P-47. This thing needs to be brought from altitude down on your enemies with a vengeance, let's say. And from that place this plane can wreak absolute havoc and is supreme. But yeah, not everybody uses it like that. I think maybe even 60% of people use it with the ass to the grass, and that is a big shame. But for the people who do use it in the correct fashion, props to you, and keep doing that, because this plane is a joy to fly when you do that. The acceleration in a straight line this plane is great. In a dive it is very good, although the initial dive acceleration is good. As it starts to speed up it becomes very good when the weight of the plane starts to kick in. The energy retention in the horizontal is excellent. Speed holds its the plane holds the speed very well, and when you come from altitude you will hold your speed for a long time. You can definitely escape from a great many people and from a great many planes in that fashion. In the vertical is decent, not the most fantastic side of this plane, vertical energy retention, but it's still decent, still workable. This is also supported by the very good climb rate this plane has. That is absolutely something that has been improved on this plane, and you very notice that when you see the enemies, as you start to see them pop up after the climbing race, and this plane often comes out equal or better than the enemy. The turn time in this plane is below average, and only when it's fast it is a turn time that is acceptable, but for a few turns as you slow down the turn time also decreases. but overall it's below average, except when you're fast. The flaps do rip off though at 560, so be careful of that when you try to pull those first few quick turns. The roll rate is good and very good when it becomes fast, this plane. This plane really is the faster the better, let's say, and that goes for the roll rate, it also goes for the turn time. Maneuverability overall is the same. It's decent overall, but let's say that it is average when you're slow, maybe even below average, and it's decent to good when you're fast. It's absolutely a major difference with this plane, and that really sets it apart. Although many planes have a speed range that is ideal for them, not many planes have the difference in handling that this plane has when it comes to being slow and when it comes to being fast. The overheating in the plane is definitely present, but it goes slow to go to the amber. But once you do get to the amber and you stay there too long, you can damage the engine pretty easily, and after that it will always overheat. So be careful of that. Keep it in the yellow preferably, then cool it off a little bit and keep it like that, instead of making it go to the amber too much, because when it does do that, the engine can break down on you, let's say. It is manageable, because if you pull off 100% for a little bit and don't use web, then you will pull off very quickly. Durability in the plane is fantastic. The P-47s are known for their durability. In reality this was the case as well. Some German pilots shot their whole ammo load in these things and they still flew home. Didn't shoot them down sometimes, so yeah. Can soak a lot of damage, absolutely. A pure boom and zoomer that can also energy fight. This plane is fantastic. I use it mostly strictly in the boom and zoom roll, coming from above. You have such a great extent in your dive that you can keep going in the dive for a long time, longer than most of the opposition you'll face, that is absolutely sure. And because of that long stretch that you have, that long range in the dive, you can easily often overtake people and actually make dives from pretty high up to people. You are not limited to short dives in this plane, let's say. You can make long, extensive dives and come out unscathed like here. Although we did, slow the plane down a little bit in the clouds before we got there. But I saw the dot and we went for it. Absolutely fun. And a beast of a plane with the firepower and the handling in the dive. The robustness of the plane, the jugs are just fantastic to fly. I really love the planes. Pretty much all the versions are good to fly, but this one has definitely improved and it is absolutely marvelous. First place in the team in this one as well. Let's see what kind of rewards we got for that performance. Quite a few special rewards. We got Final Blow, Anti-Mech, Terror of the Sky, Bulletproof, 38,000 Silver Lions and 2,000 research points. I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the P-47D-28, we're looking at her. She is a magnificent plane and the buff that she received is absolutely noticeable, especially in the climb rate, the overall maneuverability and performance. It's just all slightly better, let's say. But the climb rate is the most noticeable for me, and that has absolutely gotten improved. Performance in the plane of all P-47s is fantastic. In the dive it's very strong and it's a fast plane as well. This is a plane that is absolutely perfect for the playstyle that I love. Boom and zooming and energy fighting. Boom and zooming a little better, but it's still a very decent energy fighter as well, despite the only decent energy retention in the vertical. This plane has few weaknesses. Of course the turn time is below average, and that is something you don't want to see, but you don't want to see a P-47 slow. That's the only time where you are going to have troubles. If you're fast, your first few turns will be fast as well, and you are always easy to escape in a dive. If you notice that those first few turns don't work for you, put her in a dive, run away, get back to altitude with a very good climb rate, and reset. And that's it in this plane. It's a fantastic plane to fly. It is very forgiving and a very strong contender. I like this plane a lot. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, to leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.